Today we are going to learn about how to make Kerala style mutton stew. To prepare the Kerala style mutton stew, these are the ingredients that you would require. You would need half a kg of mutton, ginger garlic, green chilies. What I've done is that I have finely ground the ginger garlic and the green chilies. Then you would need salt to taste. You would need cardamom, cloves and peppercorns, and the main ingredient, the coconut milk powder. I add all of these into my chopper. Let's close the lid. Alright, after we have added the ground crushed peppercorn and the cardamom and the cloves into the mutton, I'm going to add a bit of coconut milk also into it, because that is what helps the mutton to break down. It works really well. And I have you add approximately around 2 tablespoons of coconut milk powder into the mixture. And to give it a flavor, since it is coconut based, so to give it enhance the flavor, what I do is, you can choose, you can opt or you can choose not to do it, but I add a little bit of coconut oil, maybe 2 tablespoons of coconut oil also into it. Once you have added all the ingredients, it's time to mix it really well. Right, you would you can get the flavor out. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to add a bit of water. Right, now this is the time when, see that the coconut milk you can choose to use the small, you can ask the butcher, or you can get the mutton, small pieces of mutton, but I prefer big pieces, so that is irrelevant. It has to be mutton, or you can use even chicken for the same thing. Right, now everything is finely mixed well. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to keep it in the fridge overnight, or at least for 2 to 3 hours, so that the flavors of the spices and coconut milk, everything gets into the mutton. And it definitely has, if you keep it, marinate your meat for some time, it definitely gives out the best in your whatever you're making. So I'm going to keep it in the fridge I'm going to leave it overnight. It's time to now cook our mutton stew. Our mutton is tender. Marinated mutton is already spiced up. We would need some diced potatoes. You can also take some diced carrots along with the potatoes, some crushed peppercorns, slit green chilies, few curry leaves, coconut milk powder, some coconut oil, cinnamon stick, and salt to taste. The coconut oil you can use any utensil for this. Once the oil is warm enough, you're going to put in your sliced chilies. You will fry them. Into the oil, you're going to put the cinnamon sticks and the curry leaves. Fry them for a minute. You can add the peppercorns now. So leave it for another minute so that they are fried well. You'll notice that the now this is the time when we will be adding our mutton into the mixture. And I'm going to cook this mutton in this straight away rather than you can also use a cooker to cook your mutton. That's another option, but I like to slow cook my mutton so that the flavor and everything comes out. And I'll add the salt now already, since you remember that at the time of marination also we have added the salt. We'll add some more salt into it, and we're going to cook this mutton in coconut milk. From the milk, this is how you can make the coconut milk. You add enough water. Now we are not going to make a thick coconut milk. Add this into your mutton. You're going to add some more water so that it cooks really well. So I'm going to cover the lid and keep it. Let's check on our mutton. You can see that it's slowly on a slow fire. You're going to cook it, and the mutton is almost half cooked now. Now is the time to add in our potatoes into it, because the cooking time for the mutton and the potatoes would be different. So I waited for the mutton to be cooked halfway so that I can add my potatoes into it. For half kg mutton, I would put around 2 big potatoes, because this is the vegetable which is going to give that starch and thickness to our mutton stew, because we are not using onions or tomatoes for the gravy to thicken up. So you can add potatoes. Now we'll cover them up and leave them for cooking. And since we've added coconut milk into it, it will curdle, so do not worry, because milk will curdle. You will find that frothy thing forming but do not worry, it is going to go off. You just have to leave it on slow fire so that it cooks really well, and that froth will also disappear after some time. Our mutton is cooked really well. See, this is what I was telling you, that the froth is going to go off. See, the mutton is well cooked. See that? And your potatoes are also cooked well. Now this is the final stage of our cooking. Now before we add the coconut cream into it, we have to make sure that we have enough gravy. You'll check the salt and your spices, because once you add the coconut cream into it, you won't be able to boil it again. This is the thick coconut milk cream, and it is made again with the same coconut milk powder. You will take 4 to 5 tablespoons of coconut milk powder and add lesser quantity of water. That's when you get the thicker cream. Now we're going to add this into the boiling mix it well. And to an extra added flavor, I'm going to add a little bit of raw coconut oil into it. Oh, there you go. Our mutton stew is ready, and it can be eaten with appam. You can check my next video on easy palapam that you can make, and your mutton stew is ready.